Sean Flanagan, what's good, man? What's good? Robert Probowski, good evening. You guys are doing well. I ain't doing shit. It's Friday night, hanging out. Been a long, busy week, working my ass off. Ready just to unwind a little bit, relax. Caesar, what's good, man? It's been a long time. Been a damn long time. Hope you're blessed. Renee Diaz, what's good? What's good? Peanut checks. What's happening? Bob Shorkey, Peter Munchenko, Zero Cruel. Good evening. Busy week for myself. Been a real busy week. Melissa Simmons, blessed. How are you? Sure, I got one of these. Plugged it. Bet I don't. Looking for my remote for my damn lights. I don't know what to do with it. I know exactly what to do with it. There we go. It's good. Been a busy week. Hope you guys enjoyed the little teaser on Instagram. Those of you that seen it, I'm sure you already know what it is. But just stay tuned. More coming on that really soon. Got 2 prototypes in this week. So been really doing a lot of testing and giving them the run of the mill. One of them was a first prototype. One of them was a first prototype. Another one was I guess you call it like a P3 prototype, more like you just make some final adjustments before it's ready for release. So it's going to be soon. Matt Tyranny, what's good? Oh yeah, absolutely blessed. Hey, if we're here, we're blessed. Some people ain't even fortunate enough to make it, The state of our country hasn't gotten any better. State of Texas broke the record this week for the highest single day of increased COVID-19 cases. Yeah, we're just moving right along. 2020 is continuing to bend everybody over and laying it to them. Cloud chasing flavor, what's good? Man, ready. Been long ready. Hell, got some projects coming down in the mix. Ready to get those out. I know they're long overdue, or they seem long overdue to me, but maybe to y'all, they're probably not overdue. Y'all probably don't give a shit. Like, hey, whatever the hell he's got, whatever. But it's projects that I'm really excited to get out to the market, man. I'm excited to see them come to fruition. You put a lot of hard work and thought into things, to finally get it from a thought process to something that you can actually put your hands on and see it. It's a beautiful feeling. We're not long out though. I think we're talking I think one's going to happen for the end of this month. Next one will be next month. And then the other could possibly fall on the ass end of next month, maybe, possibly. Not going to set it in stone, but somewhere around that ballpark. Yeah, Peter, that sucks, man. Just be careful. That's all I can tell you, man. Just be super careful. We're all going through trying times with this whole deal and like protection phases and states and whatnot. Like the missus, she want to take the little man out to the park. And I'm like, look, you don't know they're disinfecting that. She's like, well, what is he supposed to do? I get it. Nobody likes it, but it happens, you know. It's something we have to stay on top of. We ain't gone out much anywhere. You know, we've done like little day trips and road trips to like historical markers in East Texas and had a bite to eat or something like that. You know, a little picnic by ourselves, not with others. Just doing little things like that. 808 Kevin K. Aloha, bro. RBMK2. Yes, it is good to see products being released again. I'm glad to see that. You know, that's a good sign, you know, to know that we're not going anywhere. We're not giving up. I'm sure a lot of people wanted, you know, vaping just to go away with the COVID-19 deal. It's kind of like, oh, well, they're not able to produce products out of China. Nobody wants to buy them. But we've shown we're standing the test of time and adapting. I think a lot of things that do fade away in this time period are things that just weren't meant to continue to be. You know, like there's a lot of things that are going to fade away. In this time period, a big old tractor going on the road. That's how you know you live in Texas. You got tractors and cows and shit, and horses going on the road. But a lot of things that don't stand the test of time, especially after this COVID, this 2020 year, a lot of things are changing. And they're changing for the better. You know, a lot of people might say, well, damn, man, I wish that this wasn't the case. I wish, you know, things were still, this was still around or this was still around. We have to adapt. We have to overcome, you know, and not everything will stand the test of time. It sucks, you know, jobs primarily right now. I know Texas Steel just idolized their Texas plant. That's a horrible thing for the job economy in the state of Texas. But I understand too that there's just not a market for it right now. You know, I speak to a couple of my buddies that still work in the oil and gas industry, and man, work is few and far in between right now. Like nobody has jobs. Hell, Peter, you got a lot of good things to look forward to before your 23rd birthday, but happy early birthday to you, man. Every day you wake up until then is a good day. It's a blessing in itself. And your 4S fogging out with the Batman mod should be coming soon. That's going to be awesome, dude. That's going to be really, really cool. Well, happy late birthday, Melissa. Gas prices have gone up quite a bit lately. Yeah, that's what I had this conversation with somebody before about gas prices, and I think it was Kim's dad. We were sitting here or sitting on the porch having a conversation one day, and I was explaining to him that gas prices go low for a bit to try to stimulate the market. But it also gets to a point where it costs them money to make gas. Well, let me grab a drink. And a vape. Another vape. Some e-liquid. Now, me and Kim's dad were having a conversation like where gas prices go low for a bit, they go low for a bit, and they almost to stimulate the market. But what has happened in the US right now is we have so much in reserves, we don't have nowhere to put any oil right now. So it's costing refineries to make fuel, especially when it hit the really, really low prices that we were at. And what we're seeing with gas prices going up right now is because some of the states are opening back up, seeing some increased traffic and so forth. But the downside is the resurgency states that are open back up, we're also seeing an increase in COVID-19 cases. So it's just going to nosedive right back down again. It's a scary thought, you know, and I see some states are keeping, you know, like they were trying to phase in opening, but they decided to go back to closing back down. It's a tough call. Grady, what's good? Well, hell yeah, Joker. Congrats on a promotion, man. That's what the fuck it's about. Getting out there and moving up in the world. Moving on up. to the side. Let me know how that pie tastes, all right? Brian Shepard, what's good? What's good? Grats, Joker. Yeah, Bob Shorkey lowest was $1.24. I'm pretty sure I didn't see it that low for us, simply because the Mrs. Cars, she don't know how to buy a vehicle that takes regular fuel. Her vehicles all take Supreme fuel. So it's never been really cheap at all for us right now. It's been higher than hell. But that's her choice, you know. It's a car she picked out. Vaping on the Ranger. Good deal. Vaping on the totem. Let's see if we'll focus. Will you focus on the totem? Focus on the totem for me, please. You have voice activated cameras. Like, focus. That'd be dope. Let's see what I did here. There we go. Yeah, that's the totem by Critivale. Critivate. I think that's what it's called. Critivate. All right. Don't give me the line to you. And it's got the Pioneer RTA up top. Enjoying that one. It sucks because like I want to vape prototypes right now because I've been vaping my prototype all day and I'm really, really pleased with them, but I know that I can't. So I'm trying to find something else to vape in the meantime to get me by. Tell you what, this ought to work. What I got on this? Yeah, 40 ought to do it. The COG mouth to lung RTA. I did the review on that. If you haven't, go back, watch that review, and see if you can earn yourself one. I'd love to send you one. I really would. And what else do I got? I think that's a low battery on that one. Yeah. Well, I'm doing bad. Tell you what, I'll just put the cog on the totem. All my batteries are tied up in protos right now. So it's like, damn it, I ain't got nothing to vape. Not on that one. Guess it's back to the Pioneer RTA for me. I think I got burned cotton in this. That's why I'm not vaping it very much. Yeah, the totem, it's a beautiful little piece, man. It's a handmade DNA 60, I believe. It's made overseas somewhere. I'm not sure where it's made out of, but I know it's expensive as hell. But I didn't pay that much for it. And actually, I won't have it long. Tell you what, I got a profile over here I can vape. I know it. I didn't see that one because it didn't focus. Thank God. At one time, I'm glad it didn't focus. But yeah, I forgot I had a profile I wicked up earlier. I didn't wick it up. I just juiced it up, put a battery in that mod. Have y'all tried that package line, Paradigm Distros, yet? This is New York. It is a strawberry apple candy. And I must tell you, I love this line right here. They also have it in a high nicotine mouth to lung mix that I am really, really enjoying as well. And I'll tell you a little backstory about that. I've had it for a long time. But I was told, you know, hey, don't talk about that, especially on the mouth to lung stuff. And I'd asked Zegans about it. I was like, dude, what's up on this mouth to lung stuff? He's like, yeah, we're probably not going to do that yet. And then I seen Felix. I think Felix posted a picture of it. And I sent Zegans a message. I said, hey, is this a go or what? He's like, yeah, man, it releases tomorrow. I was like, well, shit. I'm glad you said something. I'll take some photos with this stuff and start pushing it a little bit because I really enjoy it. New York's my favorite of them. And they have like Dallas and Vegas and I think Atlanta and some others. I wish Dallas would have been my favorite because I'm from Texas, you know, like I wish Dallas would have been but I guess they know ain't nothing sweet about Texas, so ain't no sense in giving us strawberry and sour apple candy or whatever. Chris Lopez, what's good, brother, man? How the hell are you? My dude. My dude. Dude. My partner. A player partner from Cali goes by the name of Lopez. I've had an issue with this one lately. There we go. This Mod Dog connection, you can twist the little lid on the 510. And if it's too loose, it makes it hard to get the squonk bottle in there efficiently without making a damn mess. I'm not a fan of the Mod Dog squonk bottle. I know some people love it. On this one here, it's the black one with the plastic flap on the bottom. Piece of shit. I'll be throwing in the fucking trash. If I can get a stainless bottom one, I will. Carlos Ramirez, what's up from Hawaii? Well, what's up, man? Hope you're blessed over there. Hope everything's good. Hope the weather's beautiful. Out swimming, fishing, doing whatever y'all get to do in Hawaii. And of course, about time I can't win for the life of me today. Boy, I'm losing all. I think I got a battery over here though. I'm losing all the way around, dead batteries and all kinds of shit. Been a long day, if you can't tell. Making it happen, making it happen. Those of you that did see the video on Instagram and over on Facebook, drop a comment underneath it. Let me know what you think about that. What your opinion is on that collaboration right there. I'm very, very pleased, very honored. Happy day for me, very giddy to be able to do that, to be able to present that to the people. The other project that I ain't talked about very much, it's coming really, really soon. It'll be here before you know it. And that's one of the projects that it's a longevity project. I'm proud of that one as well. I'm digging the Cog mouth to lung. Matt Coley did the review on that one. Aesthetically, it looks really, really good to me, and I really appreciate a good looking tank. I know a lot of people didn't like the little trash can CE logo on the side of it, but luckily for me, I could just adjust that on my RDA or my device where I didn't see that when I'm vaping it. It was on the side by side, so it was on the back side, so no real harm, no foul on that one. But I guess I could see where some people who maybe not rocking it on the side by side would be like, man, that looks like shit. But still, the overall appearance of it, the way it looks like with e-liquid in it, without e-liquid in it, and that stainless and chrome, high polished stainless look, it looks really, really good to me. And I still stand by my statement. It's probably one of the best looking RTAs in the price range that you can get out there right now. And like I said, I know some people are going to completely disagree with that. But that's the wonderful thing is we don't have to agree on everything. Well, there's old Diggy, Mr. Digger himself. Yeah, I'd like to be in Hawaii too. Shit. Yeah. I needed that profile vape. I needed that mesh vape real quick. Something to change it up just a little bit. I forgot to turn on the light in my IG post. I did that on purpose. Again, the IG post is more so because there's a lot of good devices coming out. And we wanted to be sure to let people know that, hey, look, we are doing this. It's something this started like June of last year. I've been thinking about this and wanting to see it done. And just the way things fell and the way things happened, it just didn't come to be. But now's the time for it, and I'm ready for it. And speaking with all parties involved, I said, hey, look, I think we need to go ahead and do like just a little bit of a teaser, just kind of like lay our flag in that and say, hey, yeah, look, we doing this. Let the other guys do what they're doing, get their stuff out there, and just hopes, not necessarily even hopes. I mean, if somebody does what we're doing, that's fine too. I mean, we can adapt and overcome, no problem. But it lets everybody else get their stuff out there, and then we'll come out and it'll let us know where we stand. You know, like I kind of like that aspect of it, letting everybody else get theirs out, and then we'll do ours, and we'll see how we stand and how we fare and what people say about it and where it ranks amongst the others. But that's really hard to get honest feedback. You know, whenever you got a lot of team riders out there, you know, that ride for they firmly believe in a said company, and there's nothing wrong with it, man. I think it's neat as shit. They really, really support whatever it is a team does and whatever it is a manufacturer may bring out. So we'll see what comes of it. I'm anxious as hell to do it. I've been excited all day. Been using them all day. I've been putting them through their paces, you know, trying little things here and there, little alterations, little changes. I learned from the Vapor Chronicles, like, don't hesitate to take a Dremel or a power tool to your own product, even though it is a prototype. That's what it's intended for. You're supposed to tear that bastard up. You're supposed to try new things with it. And I've been doing that. I've been altering shit, trying to make sure that there's no other way I can make it any better than what I have right now. With one of the devices, I'll tell you there's some changes we need to implement into it just to make it a better experience, making an easier experience for the end consumer. But I like that. I like the challenge of trying to figure out, how the hell do I make this better? How do I make this? It's mine, but how do I make it better? So I'm constantly thinking in that aspect of, let's try this, or what about this? And listening to other parties involved, like, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about this? Or what's your opinion on this? And really, really sitting down and analyzing the situation in front of us. Yeah, Peanut checks. I got that from the Vapor Chronicles. You know, like I remember him sitting there like, yeah, like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know, I'll make it a little bit different. I was like, all right, cool. And it worked, you know. I was like, dude, that's spot on. Hell yeah, thank you. What I got here? What I put in that? Oh, I put New York in it. I forgot what I put in the profile for me. I was trying to look at my juice to see what the hell I had. And so you can adjust that Mod Dog squonk bottle, but I think I got it too tight now. I'm pushing the shit out of it. It ain't nothing. I say that. Maybe some meat liquid is coming up. But basically, you adjust this little dial on the top, and it adjusts the tension of the squonk bottle that's on it. That concept I like. The concept I don't like is a little flap on the bottom. It's supposed to make it easy to pull out, because that bastard doesn't work for nothing. Carlos says he's going to go wake up his profile right now. Mike Berg, what's good? What's good? I know other people on right now. I'm not concerned about what everybody else is doing. I'm worried about what I'm doing. Apologize for last week's live. Apparently, sometimes you have to do that. You have to go through there and just kind of clean your slate of the bullshit and address it and make it known that, hey, this is where I stand on that matter and move forward. Especially with new products coming out to hit the market, I want to be able to hit a clear mindset of not being clouded with the bullshit and negativity that's out there, and have a clean slate so that the pros and cons, I can go back and make note of those when these products start dropping. And I knew that this week would be a really, really critical week for me as far as brainstorming sessions and analyzing and looking at things, and I don't want to be clouded with the negativity or clouded with that bullshit going on. I just want to focus strictly on what's in front of me and the task at hand to bring out the very best product in which I can bring. It's tough to do sometimes. I was asked this week if it's tough to, kind of remain grounded and not just go off on people. That's not really tough. That's not the tough part. The tough part is convincing others that if you're worried about what you're doing and not worried about what I'm doing, we'd both be making progress. But instead, you're so worried about what I'm doing, I'm steadily making progress and you're not. And a lot of people get pissed off about that because they don't want to hear that. That's the truth, and they don't care to hear that. Walk my camera over here just a little bit. Oh, no. Kind of go back that way just a hair, just because I don't want you to see something on the desk that you may not supposed to see. Georgia boy, what's good? How are you? Ryan Life, what's good? Smoking the shit out of this thing. I'm pressing the hell out of it. I don't know if I think that little adjustment dial they have up there ought to be like notched, like to this setting, to this setting, to this setting. Like every time you go back and you change it to 3 or 2 clicks or 4 clicks or whatever you prefer. I think my dog needs to do that on that little piece. Just got off work a few hours ago, just winding down. Good deal. Yeah, I'm about to put myself back in the workforce somewhere, somehow. Of course, still continue to do what I've been doing always and brainstorming and trying to make things better. But I got to put myself back in the workforce somewhere. Hell, it's I go stir crazy sitting here sometimes, man. I think like I'm losing my mind or something. So I gotta have the daily problems to fix and see results that day so I don't lose my damn mind. I don't go batshit crazy on folks. It's gonna be interesting because I've been out of work for over a year now, so vacation's almost over. Time to go back to it. We've looked at a few different options. No telling what it'll be. The missus thinks I need to pick up some kind of sales or something, being retail of some sort. Man, I hate selling people shit, especially if it's garbage. I'm like, man, you just buy about to waste your damn money. Hopefully, I don't have to work on commission or something because I won't make any damn money. I'll fucking starve just because I'll be like, hey, that's not a good one to get. I'd go with this one. But then again, you may sell more by being honest. Richard Whitehead. Hi, Mr. Just Right One. Or hi, Just Right One. How about you? Melissa Simmons, yes, the economy is way worse and it will be really hard to find a job, especially since I was coming out of the oil and gas industry. That industry is almost non-existent right now. So it's going to be very, very difficult to get back into something. But I'm also welcoming that challenge of finding something outside of oil and gas, outside of my normal routine of what I'm used to doing, what I've known to do. I welcome that. It's a learning experience for me. It's an educational experience. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Anybody can do it. And I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard, but like I said, I welcome that challenge. I'm looking forward to it, to get back in the grind of things, just to feel productive on a daily basis. The missus asked about working from home, maybe find a job that I can do from home. I got to get out. I got to go do something and physically put my hands on something and fix something or tear something up, even to be fixed, whatever it may be. You're right, Lopez. I will be just all right. Not just right, but I'll be just all right. Asshole. I got to find new friends. David Moles has always trust an honest salesman. That's a tough thing to be, I guess. Especially right now. If somebody's wanting to buy something and you're paid on commission, you don't want to say nothing bad about what they've already made up their mind about. Hey, you know what? Go ahead and buy that one. This is what your total cost is. But who knows? What I'll get into. I don't know. It'd be something. It'd be something, I'm sure. Maybe put the missus back to work. That'd be nice. Boy, that'd be real nice. I wonder how she feels about that. I'd ask her, but she's not here right now. Mr. Mom. From Mr. Just Right to Mr. Mom? Nah. I ain't doing that. Yeah, Lopez says, as someone who works in sales, people do not appreciate the truth. They want lies as long as they save money. Faceless Vapor says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. You hit the thumbs up if you want to. If you don't hit it, trust me, I ain't losing sleep over it. The Faceless says, is there going to be a profile V2? I don't know what tomorrow brings. As of right now, it's not on the agenda. It's possible, but it's not something that we're looking forward to right now. Oh, maybe I need to get a sugar mama. I wonder how Kim feels about that one. I'd ask her, but she's not here right now. So I ain't doing that either. I ain't stupid. Now I'll do some ballsy shit, but I'm not asking if I can go get a sugar mama. That ain't gonna fly. Bob Shorkey says he needs a sugar mama. Maybe we can share one, Bob. Let her stay at your place, like you keep her, all them other good things. Just make sure I get paid every now and then. We'll be all right. Yeah, I've done sales before. I've sold water to a well if I had to. It's not something I look forward to getting back into, but she was thinking like on maybe some oil field sales and convincing people that, hey, you need to use these services of this company because these are the reasons and the values in which they can bring to your company to lower your overhead annual budget and save you money in the long run and ensure that you get a great bonus at the end of the year. That people want to hear that bullshit, but I'm just not that guy. So for being a loudmouth, outspoken bastard, it makes it really, really tough to get out there and find a job, a job. And I'm not really interested in just finding a job that's like a 9-to-5 daytime job just to have a job. I'm one that's more on a career path. I like to choose a career and whether it start at the bottom in that career, but find something career wise and spend a lot of time doing it. My last job, was right over 13, 14 years in that industry. So I'm not one that job hops a lot. It's been a long time since I had to go get a job. I'm not that good looking young man I am anymore. I'm just that really good looking old man now. So we'll see. But I've always said it. Whatever it takes to get it done, that's what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? Hell, whatever it takes, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've always done. David Moe, you know, a job I did have for a while was I actually worked at a car audio place in the repair back in the back, you know, fixing units, repairing units. It's what I did. I enjoyed that for a little bit. Didn't do it long, but I did do it. Enjoyed it. That's a good little job, you know, good little hustle. The lead repair technician back there was a weirdo though, man. He was freaking way weird, way off his rocker too. So they kind of pulled me from back there and said, "Hey, look, we're gonna put you over here, kind of like doing little installs and stuff like that." Mainly like because the shop that I worked at was like a not like a high end shop. It was like a mid tier, low end shop. Not even mid tier, like really low end style stuff. But they always worked on a bunch of like tote the note lock stuff where people had cars and they tore them up and had to swap, like put a cheap radio in it, or somebody cut an antenna lead, or somebody cut a wire harness for a radio and go through there and rewire another harness, go to the salvage yard, find the same model, get the same harness, hardwire it back in. Little things like that. It see, it's not really hard to do. It's just a pain in the ass. Like, why would somebody do that? Don't they know they sell a quick connect for that? But you can't convince people of that at times. It was always neat though to figure out what you had to do to fix something. You know, I got in one car one time, like you hit the turn signal, the windshield wipers went on. It's like, holy hell, this is gonna be fun. I got the old part right, you said, Diggy? I ain't gonna deny that. I'm an old, good looking man. Better looking than I was when I was younger. Don't hate. You unfortunately for you, Diggy, you won't have the same fate that I have of looking better as you get older. That's a rarity. Yes, security, advancement, retirement, 100. Yeah, you want jobs with benefits and things like that. You know, hell, I've actually thought about going to become a cop. Why not? Shit, everybody like wants to fight the police right now. What if you had police and one of my whooping your ass? Nah, she won't let me go be a cop either. Lopez says, "Well, I also figured you couldn't look worse." Laugh out loud, asshole. What is it with short people and being assholes? It's like because it's all that negative energy stored up really, really compact. So it's just always got to come out like assholes, or what? I'm trying to figure that one out. I typically overlook Lopez's comments, not by choice, but just because I'm overlooking them. Stands like 4'2", something like that. 4'9". My bad. He's gonna say I'm 4'9", you asshole. A lot of the work nowadays is integrated system, 7 to 12K for some Euro stuff. Fix it for $1,000, they're happy as hell. Yeah, I could see that. I can see that a lot. If you have an out for people, that's always a plus. Like, hey, look, dude, you can replace it with this. It's going to cost this. But if you allow me to fix what you have, it's going to cost you a fraction of what it's going to cost to replace it. I could see that. Yeah, last week I did a question and answers. There was a few questions, a couple answers, but not as many questions as I thought. I had posted the room number live and didn't get very many members in the room either. I was like, well, piss on y'all. Oh, Diggy's gonna ask me afterwards. I couldn't find the room number. It's the same damn room number it always is. Lopez, you get your mail yet? Where's that minor guy at? I ain't seen him over here yet either. I'll come in right now if you want. I don't give a shit. You always welcome. Hell, you ain't got to have an invite. Security, yeah. I'll put this up just in case Somebody decides to come in. I do enable the waiting room now. I could lock the room, but I don't lock it because I don't like remembering the password. Man, what's the password? Shit, I don't know what the password is. I bet Diggy wants to come on and talk about billet boxes because I know Diggy's big into billet boxes. He flips them bastards like crazy. Trying to get a Delro. If you're out there and you have a Delro, be sure to sell it to anybody but Diggy because Diggy will sell that bastard as soon. He won't even get it in his hands and it'll be sold. I promise you. And a stash box. I think you do the same with a stash box too. I try to tell the guy, man, flipping life is not the way to be. You know, it's not a way to. It's not a reputation in which you want to have. But he's completely chose to ignore that and just go off. You know, jump off the porch. Like, tell him, look, man, once you come off the porch, you ain't gonna be a pup no more. People not gonna be there. They're gonna be welcoming groups. They're gonna be giving you the boot, unknown. You're gonna be like me, be like, why did I get kicked out for? Well, shit, why do you think you got kicked out? Diggy wants to talk about custodial matters. If Diggy wants to talk about custodial matters, I'll give him all the advice I can give him. Typically, let the missus have whatever the hell they want and fight for your rights to see your children as often as possible. And then you fight for custody whenever it's necessary. Yeah, I gotta adjust that. That shit's driving me nuts. Not a fan of the Mod Dog bottle. Oh, fuck. I don't fucked up now. Let me see how I can do this here. Maybe just half a turn. Maybe half a turn more. Oh, glorified janitor. Maybe you should have clarified. Maybe so. Maybe he wants me to go become a janitor. Ryan Life. That's fucking funny. And we still see no Diggy. The room number's up. The shit ain't changed. It's always the same. But no. I wonder how my buddy Kai is doing over there in Dubai right now, man. I hope he's doing well. We ain't seen him much lately. I know this has been going live a little bit earlier. I ain't heard much out of Kai. I hope he's doing well. I'm going to take this time out as well to extend my condolences to Rajan. I want to say his name correctly, and his family at this time. Brother, you're with me always in thoughts and prayers. Praying for your family right now. And, you know, if you need anything at all, let me know. And guys out there, if you're a religious man or not, even if you're not a religious male or female, just keep Rajan in your thoughts, you know, and his family in these trying times. It's horrible to lose a loved one. And Rajan, I'm thinking about you heavy. Have thought about you a lot this week too, brother. Always, you know, I'm here for you, whatever you need. Aha. Let's see. Y'all want to see the face of a flipper? Y'all want to see the face? There's the face of a flipper right there.
That is.
That's a good reference for you right there. How the hell are you, Biggie? Can I guess what you're drinking?
Can you guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, take a guess.
Diet root beer, sugar free. Cream soda. Fuck, you got
me. I had to switch it up. I don't know. It's been good. It's been kind of busy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Going on.
You're going to get me banned. Perma-ban. No flipping this week. Although my cap broke. My clear cap on my Zeta broke today after 1 week of light use. Kind of bummed about that.
Ouch.
So that kind of hurts a little bit, but it happens.
Did you get to return back to work this week?
Yeah, and then I go back again on Tuesday. Yes,
How's the
sir.
riding up there? I know you were not far from it.
It was pretty wild. We took a little drive just up the road. Everything was all boarded up. It's pretty wild. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, but Seattle is what's going crazy right now. I was watching something on the news. They started their own country.
Damn, and I thought Texas was badass. Seattle said, fuck it. Here we go.
They took a 6-block square in the city and they said, this is our country now, I guess. They're calling it Chaz.
Okay.
So
that means we can call open war on them?
they want them to follow Seattle, or they want to follow Seattle policy. Seattle has to get with them to get their policy for Seattle. That's what I read anyway.
Oh, that's gonna be fucking interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. That's gonna be so, bro. That ain't gonna be
just like, what the hell is next? Did you ever watch that documentary on Netflix with Big Mike, or Killer Mike? I mean.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was interesting because they started their own like country or whatever on the last episode.
Killer Mike, Big Mike, Killer Mike. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I believe in a lot of what he says and the way. One thing I like about him is he's a powerful speaker. He's one that can really resonate with even those that maybe it's not intended as a target audience. It still resonates within them, and he's been that way for forever. What he's always spoke on and talked about, but he positioned himself to where when he got the notoriety and the fame behind him, he capitalized on that and used it for good, for people to hear it whenever he had the platform for people to hear him and listen. Right. And he has a lot of co-signers behind him. But you're seeing a story right now fold out with conspiracy theorists and the theories behind the Black Lives Matter and the George Soros and the Rockefellers funding and the Clintons funding the Black Lives Matter deal, but yet still owning the media companies in which are covering it. So it's like they're profiting off of this on both sides of the field. It's going to be a very, very interesting thing to see how it turns out. I'm not really sure how Seattle's going to work out by having their own little Chaz as a country within itself. Because, I mean, if they start their own country, I mean, that means they're open for war. And we have a pretty good standing record on that one. So
exactly. That's what a lot of people don't understand is when you declare yourself its own separate country, that means we can invade it. Essentially, I mean, that's probably why California doesn't split into like 6 different places.
Ding, ding, ding. We got our first time out of the day. Gregory McChicken, we just put your ass in time out. Come back with that bullshit, we're going to show you the door. We're going to let it hit you with a good Lord split you.
I didn't even see what he said.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. See ya.
Yeah. I always find it very interesting how people would come to a page where somebody's live under a false fake account because they don't have enough of whatever it is about themselves to come as themselves and leave that bullshit. And granted, I've been to a few shows, been all over the United States, been everywhere. If you ever had any real issues with me or felt like you just wanted to come do it in person, by all means, please. I am getting old in old age, but still got it.
Can we hang out in your pool afterwards?
What's that? Oh yeah, most definitely. It's been hot enough in Texas. But last night it got cold as hell though. It got like down to like 65 here. Little man wanted to go swimming today, and it'd been hot every day this week. Shit, I got out there this afternoon. I got changed in my swim trunks and go out there with him. Shit, I said, "Is it cold?" He said, "No, it's not cold." I knew right then and there, don't jump in this motherfucker because it's gonna be cold. I put my foot off in there and I was like, nope. I set it. I just put my feet in there and sat there for a minute. I was like, no, this is too damn cold for me. I don't know how he does it. I miss being young. When I was his age, dude, I'd jump in a freezing ass pool. I didn't care. Pool's a pool. I'm swimming. But now I don't care to get in the pool. I just want to sit back and watch them enjoy it. His little ass was out there going crazy today. I'm like, no, sir, not me.
All that pent up energy. If you ever come up to Minnesota, we can do the polar plunge. Now that shit's wild.
On that one.
Do a little ice fishing, a little polar plunging.
Where was we at? We were in Metropolis, Illinois, and then we cut over to somewhere in, I want to say it was Minnesota somewhere. I'm not sure whereabouts, but they had a hotel with the pool, and it wasn't like a ground level pool. It was like elevated in this hotel, but it was out like part outdoors, part indoors. And me and my buddy went out there and jumped in that pool, even though that fucker was closed, but they had the hot tub open. We stuck our wrist in the hot tub and stayed our ass in the freezing ass cold pool, and it felt amazing. But the minute you took your hands out of that hot tub, game over. You want to jump out real quick.
Oh, for sure. When I was younger, we used to play hockey tournaments all the time. So you'd go get a hotel, and all the hockey players would stay in the hotel with you. And they had this hotel, and the hot tub was next to the pool, but then there was a door to go outside. So we would go in the hot tub, jump outside in the snow, and then jump in the pool. I don't know how somebody didn't get hurt, slip, fall, or fucking frostbite. It was just nuts.
Not for me, man. Not for me. Like, I'm good. If my ears get cold, scratch it. I'm done. Like, right. I don't give a shit. My feet can be freezing. My whole body can be freezing. If my ears get cold, scratch that.
Done.
Game over.
Yeah.
He did the ice water challenge once. Screw that.
I'm gonna open it. It's finally.
Little man been looking for a Coke with a pop top bottle on it. Finally got him one. His sister bought him a keychain, a bottle opener.
Oh, the bottle opener.
He been wanting to use it, so he wanted a glass bottle to do it with. Yeah, mine. I didn't do the ice water challenge either, man. Piss on that. I'm not for that either. And no, sir, I'm not scared of the water, miner. I know how to swim. I actually swim very, very well. I just like to enjoy things from a different perspective. I like to see them enjoy the pool. If you're not in the pool, you get to see everything going on in the pool. You get to see everybody enjoying it, having a good time. If you're in the pool, you're part of that good time. You know what I mean? And I like to observe the little man out there swimming and watching his progress. It's how I like to enjoy my pool. But if it gets hot enough, I will take my ass out there and jump in the pool. I did the other day. Need help?
No, I got it.
You sure?
I'm charging. Oh, get it. I'm getting a hold of it.
There you go.
I can hear it.
Now you can hear it.
Whoa, you can hear that one.
I'm watching him, make sure he don't hurt himself. It is a glass bottle.
Right.
His mama was in there. She'd be freaking out. Yeah, he'd be helping him. I'm a firm believer in letting him try to make it. Who the hell's that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, minor. I ain't answering that.
I'll just hop right on there.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. Good job. So how's work going, man? How's that looking up there? I know if you fail to disclose what you do, I know you're involved in medical field somehow, but how's that going for you? I mean, is that
It's kind of weird. It's a strange time. Like you have to get tested every time you go into work. They do a temperature check. You have to wear a mask everywhere, but now they're closing doors and making us park in other places to get in. But they said that they're not going to close anything down if they get another spike. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. But I'm kind of surprised it hasn't like fully kicked on with all the protesting because people are in very, very close proximity to each other. I would say more, but since we're live on YouTube, I don't want to walk in on Monday and
oh, you're out of here, bro. Yeah. Well, Texas, you know, this last week we broke the record for the single highest case number influx yet.
right.
Yeah.
Florida
And,
too.
I think we shattered their record though.
Right.
By the news articles, they said we shattered their record, and it's Texas is still like one article says Texas breaks record for most COVID-19 cases in a single day influx. But then the next article right underneath it is Tyler Strong continuing to open businesses left and right. I'm like, did y'all really just read the orientation in which y'all laid those out in? Like here we're
Right.
Tyler Strong and we're opening back up, no problem. But yet we had the single largest increase in cases in the state of Texas. Like somebody has to stand up and say, look, we're still not time yet.
Yeah, it's like I'm kind of conflicted about the whole thing only because it's like on one hand, people aren't able to go back to work and a lot of small businesses are, you know, losing their bread and butter to feed their family. But then on the other hand, they're not getting it under control. So it's hard to say like, oh, let's shut it down, let's open it, because you got so many different people that are involved and affected and things like that. I just, to open it all up again and just like go crazy, like, I mean, it seems weird to me, but you know, I'm not an expert, but when I go online and read articles, it's like they don't even know what the fuck's going on either. So it's like, who are you supposed to look to in times like these when experts can't even get on the same page? So that's why it's conflicting as fuck, in my opinion. You know,
I always have a thing against doctors because to me, doctors are in the medical practice. Their name
Yep.
is in it says practice in their title. They are practicing. They don't know. They're practicing. And that's something that always bothers me a little bit. Like, this guy really don't know what he's talking about. Hell, he's practicing. You know, like,
exactly.
it's in his fucking name. It's printed. It's in iron metal letters outside of his business on the little outdoor moniker. It says Dr. M.D. Robert Smith, medical practitioner, practicing. I'm like, wait a minute, guy, you're practicing. Like that. There's something wrong with that. So I, for one, I don't go to doctors very often.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an issue with doctors too, just because of what you said. I took an ambulance ride one time and I'm like, this is bullshit. And she's like, remember, they're practicing medicine. Since you said that, I was like, that's exactly what she told me. And it was like, wow, that is crazy. Because it's true. They're just practicing. They just know. They went to medical school to practice it, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep. Same with lawyers as well. They're practicing law. You know, they're practicing. Well, maybe we'll get you off of here. Well, fuck you. Maybe ain't gonna cut it, buddy. I need somebody who's not practicing. Somebody who's known for doing this.
Somebody that knows what's going on. Yeah, I went and saw a specialist one time, and she was like, "Well, you know, we're not supposed to live past the age of 45." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, from a reproduction standpoint, there's no reason for humans to live after 45. It's like, damn, lady, you trying to kill me? It's like,
Yeah,
I'm
how
not
old she was? I would
should
ask her,
have.
well, how old are you?
Be like, well, are you past your 45?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I got to be honest. It's a weird, strange feeling, you know. I mean, when you go,
Everything right now has been weird. This entire experience has been weird and it's been odd. But the sad part about it is looking at it where people are not realizing that this is the future. This is moving forward right now. Uh,
right,
COVID's going to take people's lives. People are going to die from that. People are going to recover from that as well. But there's some things that people are not going to recover from. And I was reading about this the other day, and it was the amount of suicides right now
oh, I
people
believe it.
taking their own lives has skyrocketed. And that's a number that nobody wants to talk about. And these numbers are skyrocketing because of the fact of people being, life has changed, has altered so much for them that they're unable to accept the reality of living in a hotspot area and not being able to go out and having to self quarantine at home and going literally stir crazy and unfortunately taking their own life. Uh, a lot of people taking their own lives, realizing they're not going to be able to make the ends meet and ashamed of that, you know, and that's the part that bothers me and the part that scares me more than anything. To know that there's people out there that are taking their own lives because they don't see a better way. They don't see a future ahead
Yeah,
of this, you know, and I'm a firm believer that everything we're going through right now is conditioning us for future battles and future things to come. And we have to not give up. We have to continue to fight. We have to stay the course and know that, you know, you may have to suffer a little bit of embarrassment and a little bit of downtime, a little bit of humbleness, but know that all that's for good cause and good reason. You know what I mean? It'll make you a better individual in the long run.
right.
But the little ones that are growing up now, what we're experiencing now is their future. It's everything that's going to be, to us, this is odd. This is not right. This is not the way it's supposed to be. For them, it's not, it's evolution. It's how things happen. It's the way things are going to be. Working from home, online studies at home. Think about that. All the kids that had to do studies from home, but it was an option. If this would have happened in 1980, where online courses wasn't an option, studying and doing schoolwork from home wouldn't have been what it is today. And you'd have had a whole generation of kids or a whole year worth of students that just failed a whole grade because there was no physical option for them to get online and do the studies.
Right.
And now with the internet and technology being the way that it is, even local internet providers stepped up to the plate to ensure that all students had access to internet at some place somewhere, whether it been their aunt's house or mother's house. And granted, we live in East Texas, so you got some people that are way out in the sticks. They couldn't do that, you know. So they said, "Look, your nearest relative is here. We have a service point up to this point. We can get them internet services there." And same from working from home. That's going to be the future for these kids coming up now. For us, it's not right. Like, damn, we feel like we're lazy and things ain't going good, but it's the way things are going to be. And honestly, I kind of like them that way a little bit. I don't like the working from home aspect, you know, but I
Yeah,
do like the fact that if I wanted to log on and do work butt ass naked on my computer, I could.
right.
You know, or if I just needed to have a shirt on like I do now, and that's I could.
No pants game.
No pants game. Cool image. What's good? What's good? Mine says only 4 years left for me. Yeah, buddy. I call dibs on all your high end shit. That's all.
Yeah, miner's in the high end game hard now.
That's everything he owns now. So I call
It's
dibs
all
on
high end. Props to you, miner. Love you, buddy. Yeah. I think another thing that's kind of realized for me too is how do I word this without sounding like an asshole? Is how much we don't need. Like, you know, as far as like consume. Granted, I know that people count on, you know, things to feed their family, and that's not what I'm getting at, but more like essential things and what's important in life, like family, friends, things like that. I was kind of thinking the other day, like, what would happen if, say, there was, there's 343 million people in the United States alone, but only 100 million are essential jobs, say. So then people say, well, what would you do with that other 100 and some odd million, minus kids, because they go to school and everything else? And it's like, is there a way to put the capitalism, and I hate the word socialism, in kind of a hybrid form of like, all the essential jobs are good, America's good, let people retire at an earlier age, let them enjoy their family sooner, so then people aren't in the workforce as long, if that makes sense. I mean, I know people can say, well, what about this, and this, and this? And I always talk about the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule for me is, say 80% of the time it's great, it works, but then 20% of the time there's flaws. To me, that's a win. Anytime I go into work and they're trying to figure out a better way to do things, everybody's always like, oh, that's not going to work because of this. And it's like, yeah, but that happened once. What about the other 99% of the time?
Yep.
But I could be way off, and people can be like, no, this is fucking capitalism, baby. Like,
I mean, you think about that. Like, I spoke to a local shop owner the other day and visiting with him, and telling him the same thing about this being the future now. But the problem that arises is the accountability for, like me and my son, like ensuring that he's sitting here and doing his work, and the parents that, because some children are picked up. The buses now stop at the houses here. When I was a kid, you had to walk to the bus stop. You had to walk like 3 or 4 blocks down to the bus stop. And collectively, everybody got there and got on the bus at the same place. But now the buses stop at every damn house on the block to drop off kids. That's a waste of damn fuel, for one. And two, they're picking them up at the butt crack of dawn. They're feeding them breakfast at school. They're feeding them lunch. Then some schools are even sending kids home with food, which I think is great, to send the children home, make sure they're being fed. But some of these children that are being fed breakfast, lunch, and being picked up at the butt crack of dawn and being dropped off at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening are spending more time with the school system than they are with their parents, and their parents are doing nothing productive. They're not out there being productive members of society. They are literally sitting there twiddling their thumbs, doing nothing. And that is that's not a good thing to have. That's not a good thing to have at all. What you got to have is the accountability process to say, now these kids are going to be taught from home, homeschooled. So a parent that would be normally sitting there twiddling their thumbs now has to do something.
Yeah.
They have to sit there and make sure their kids are getting their work done and feeding their kids, making sure their kids are good, making sure their kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing throughout the day. And a lot of people are going to have a hard time with that and accepting that and conforming to that. But we'll see what comes of it. Like this is a trial and error period for us right now in the United States.
Yeah, it's interesting times, to say the least. So like, what's your prediction for like the next 5 years? What do you think it's going to look like after all this is said and done? Because it seems like every time there's a catastrophe or something crazy happens, there's always laws that come behind it. Every time there's something major that happens.
My prediction for the next 5 years is most of these small mom and pop companies where you've seen like 5 of the exact same businesses within like a 5-block radius, you're not going to see that anymore. You're not going to see a oversaturation of a said service of any sort, whether it be the retail, whether it be food, whether it be gas stations or like a handyman service. You're not going to see a saturations of physical brick and mortar locations where you've had the Amazons for the longest time doing the online ordering. They've taken over a majority of retail. Even these major online stores, Macy's, Dillard's, all these other online, Nordstrom, they were closing physical locations down. Malls across America are being abandoned left and right because there's nobody to fill that retail space anymore because everybody's going to online sales. Even when they had online sales and retail locations, people would literally come in, try the clothes on in the retail location just to see how they fit. and then go back home and order it online.
Yeah.
They're like, we're not going to keep the damn lights on and AC this place just for somebody to figure out how it fits. What we'll do that's cheaper for us is we'll offer free returns. So retail shopping is going to be online as much as possible, especially with Walmart doing home delivery. Even your food services, your restaurants now, almost everybody is doing some kind of takeout service, delivery service for food. So that's going to be a norm. Where it was new this last 2 years and getting people used to it, those that were early adapters of it. But now it's going to be a standard. So that's going to eliminate a lot of square footage for dine-in experiences. You're going to be doing that at home a lot more. Schools will be online studies and courses. And I think that's going to go all the way through the collegiate level. Jobs, a lot of it's going to be done online. And in the oil and gas industry, that was my job, was to make things automated. I wrote automation communication protocols, where one, they can guarantee communications with the remote location, and two, they could automate that location without having to send a human being in to do a job. You could punch a few keys in the keyboard, you could set a couple parameters, and then that well would be doing what you wanted it to do in those parameters, instead of having to physically send somebody out there to open a choke up or to choke a well back and close a choke, to ESD a well, to shut one in or allow one on, to bleed off gas, to go to tanks, to call for a water hauler to come pump off those tanks. It can all be done remotely now. And I see it now, hindsight, in the industry I was in, people hated automation guys because we were eliminating jobs.
Right.
While I was doing it, my mindset was always, I'm saving people's lives, because if you don't have to send a human being out there, you reduce the risk of somebody getting killed by doing so.
Yeah.
So
see, that's where I was talking about this, like the socialist part of it. What would you do if you automated most everything, and then people could, like I said, retire early, things like that, work less hours,
But the problem is, you have these companies, these owners of these companies, where they're automating things and making things less, and the human interface endangers less, but they're compensating even less.
Yeah.
There has to be a balancing act there that says, look, even though you're doing less, we're going to compensate you more, because what you're doing is saving us more. So therefore, and that's where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer mindset, where you're eliminating jobs by automating things, and you're making this guy a lot more money because he's having to pay less people to go out there and do the job because it's now being automated. There has to be a balancing act there, because now he's getting richer by doing less, and that same mindset has to feed down to the employees and say, hey, we're going to pay you more to work from home than we are for you to come and report to us at this physical location. And they have to look at the way the money, the way it saves, like heating and cooling a place, supplying water, fire code, to get a building up to fire codes, and fire codes are constantly changing, especially in big metroplex areas. The fire code alone could shut down a business like that instantly. There could be 500 people report to this office, and it may cost them $500,000 to get up to code.
Right.
So if they're saving the money on that aspect, that money should be trickling down back to the employees, but not in a small rate. It needs to be at just the same amount of rate in which you're increasing the profits for the man up top. Those rates need to be kicked down to the lower end as well. And to see that's like a perfect world, man. We're not going to see that for a long time to come, until some kind of regulation is put into place that says you have to compensate, you have to raise people's wages, especially those that are working from home, and increasing your profits, because they're saving you money and increasing the expense of their own at home. Tax write-offs, dude. Have people thought about what tax write-offs are going to be like this year? Because I worked from my home for X amount of days. That's means your home is now your office. That's supposed to be a tax write-off, a certain square footage. And they're going to have to adapt and change those laws that say, well, you have to have a separate bathroom and a separate office room, and has to be so much square footage between this point and that point. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how I don't even know if that's even been addressed yet, how that's going to work on taxes for everybody that's had to work from home, where it wasn't an option.
Right.
Because they're going to be able to write off their internet. They're going to be able to write off a little bit of the electricity, a little bit of their water bill. And is it only going to count if they had a separate restroom from their main restroom near their office and so much square footage? Like, how's that going to be addressed? I'm trying to read some of these comments.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too.
What do you consider rich now? That is a question.
That's a good question.
Do you consider living on top of each other rich? I enjoy my space. Depends on who's on top of me. If it's Kimberly, I'm good. If it's some snaggletooth water buffalo, I'm not good. I'm good. I'm not going to be rich. I'll be poor. Give me 1 second. Close this door.
Be poor. It's too funny.
But I guess that's a question that a lot of people are asking themselves. Like, what's going to be the norm for the next 5 years? What's going to be the new standards? Nobody's certain right now, but I hope that there are people that are looking at this and evaluating, especially, like I said, on the home law, like working from home, being able to write off a certain bit. But you got to offset that with the stimulus packages that were sent out to people that pay taxes and all that other good stuff. That it's going to be a clusterfuck, man. And we're not going to, I don't think 5 years is, after 9/11, we just started getting used to this, the way things are with customs and border patrol and international travel and, at your airports, your security checkpoints. We just started getting used to that. And that happened how many years ago? 9/11? What was that? 2000?
19 years ago.
19
Coming
years?
up on 19 years in September.
And we just barely started registering as the norm for us.
Right.
So moving forward, you can assume that this is going to be a greater catastrophe. I'm not going to say it's a greater catastrophe, but greater economical impact to our existence. It may not even be in our lifetime when we see things stabilize from this. I'm 36 years old, and I'm going to say it may not even be in my lifetime, because if you put 40 years on it, that would put me at 76, and I don't plan to live to be 76. I'll get louder and more fucking ruder the older I get. But yeah, I just think that it's not something we're going to, wherever in our lifetime we'll see the recovery of. Steven, my youngest, he may in his lifetime see a normalization from this, but not in our lifetime we won't.
Yeah. Coyle said he hates the term the new norm. It seems they are using it to push their agendas now. Elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I get what he's saying on pushing the new norm. I think to assume the new norm and expecting it to be like right now is foolish. That's not the way it works. Like I said, in Cole's lifetime, he's not going to see normalization from this. In my lifetime, we're not going to see normalization from this. Kimberly's lifetime, Miner's lifetime, Chappie's lifetime. Most of us that are watching right now, in our natural given life, we're not going to see normalization from this. We'll be fortunate and blessed if our children 10 years old and younger see normalization from this, because in 40 years, they'll be 50.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you brought up like all the stuff that happened after 9/11, because like with the TSA, I was actually reading an article just a week ago that they said the TSA only stops 9% of things coming through that aren't supposed to go through. 92%.
For that.
I mean, so you're talking about, how much is spent? I'd be interested to know how much is spent on that, because I'm guessing it's government funded. The TSA is that correct? Or do the airports supply TSA? That I don't know on that one.
Pretty sure that's a government job because when they confiscated all my shit, nobody was arguing with them. Nobody from the airport was arguing with him. None of the airlines was arguing with him. They let what them guys said it. And even when his supervisor came, he said the agent at the gate has the final say so. No matter how high up the ladder you go, the book can say this goes. This is a permitted item to allow on this flight. If the guy at the gate says it doesn't go, guess what? It does not go.
Yeah. It was funny because we were in California one time. We were coming back home and people had like big bottles of sunscreen and they kept tossing them in this bucket. Somebody goes, man, if those are bombs, we're all fucked.
That's a word you don't say in the airport.
Right? I'm thinking you're just tossing all these things over here in this big ass bucket. And I'm like, I was like, oh, damn. But yeah, I went through with a container and it had ice in it. Because they always make you dump out your water and it's piss warm water. So I'm like, I'll just put ice in it. So it came through and they pulled me to the side and they're like, what's in this container? I'm like, it's ice. And then they're like, they open it up and they're like smelling. I'm like, it's ice. I'm like, you can dump it out if you want. He's like, just give me a minute. I was like, all right. He's like, close it. And he's like, you're good to go. Like, thanks, Mr. Ice Police. Like, I was like, damn.
Coming back in the UK, you know, they pulled my bag to the side for a secondary search, and guy pulled some things out of it and ran this little brush thing over it and waited for this machine to detect. If it was like a little sniffer that he ran through my whole damn luggage, like every bit of it. And I had all my clothes. I learned a traveling trip that to get those space saver bags, not the ones that go with the vacuum, but the ones that you can press by your manually, and it saves your clothing. So you can pack a week's worth of clothes and be like this much clothes in there. He looked at those. He said, I'm not about to open all that shit. I said, good, because I did not want to stand here and pack all this shit back in these bags. I think he opened one of them. The one he opened, I had like some sweatsuits, like some sweater hoodies and joggers and shit. And that thing, as soon as you opened it, went poof. I was like, shit, press all that shit back down. But after he did that one, he said, I'm not about to open all those. He just ran that little sniffer over them. Nothing come back bad, and he let me go. But hell, I spent 10 minutes repacking my shit right there.
Oh, yeah, they fucking take it out, and they're like, here you go. Yeah.
Bob Shorkey said, last time I went through TSA, they confiscated my cordless screwdriver. I was following TSA rules because it contained a lithium-ion battery. It's a fucking screwdriver. They're not going to want you to get on taking the fucking screws out of the panels in an airplane. Hell no. Somebody get in their fucking seats loose. What happened here? Guy got bored, had a fucking cordless screwdriver last
Don't mind me. I'm just screwing these in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, hell, we're at 2 hour, a little right under 2 hour mark. Just want to jump on again. It's Friday night. Shoot the shit with everybody. Hope everybody out there staying focused, staying blessed. It's trying times we're in right now. Don't let it get the best of you. You know that everything we're going through now is conditioning us for what's to come. It may not be your cup of tea. It may not be what you fancy. It may not be your choosing. But understand that things happen that we have no control over in life. The only thing we have control over is how we react to those situations and how we react to the environments in which we're placed. I firmly believe every one of you out there watching has a good, sound mind on your shoulders. And if you ever need anybody to speak to, anybody to shoot the shit with, drop me a message. Can't promise I'll answer your phone call, but I could, acknowledge and make sure I give you 5 minutes of my time anyway to remind you that, hey, what the storm today, there's going to be sunshine tomorrow, I want the best for everybody out there. I know we're, like I said, trying times right now, but it's imperative that we keep that fighting mindset in us and that fighting spirit to continue to move forward. I know it's been spoke on that I didn't speak on Black Lives Matter. My understanding is what's understood does not have to be explained. For me to say that Black Lives Matter, that's nothing new to me. Black lives have always mattered to me. So for me to make a statement now that Black Lives Matter would insinuate that now they matter to me. They've always mattered to me. That's why I haven't made a Black Lives Matter statement or anything of that nature, because it's always been important to me. It's always mattered to me. You know, humanity matters in general. We have to start doing better, being better people, acknowledging, be colorblind for once in your life. You know, to not see color as anything more than what it is just, it doesn't define who you are inside you, not one damn bit. I just wanted to make that statement because I know it's been thrown out there, even by the worthless of worthless. It's been said. So I'm going to make a statement on that right now and just let you know that the reason I haven't made a Black Lives Matter statement is because it just didn't start mattering to me. This has been my whole fucking life. They've always mattered. It's always mattered. Remember, what's understood does not have to be explained. I'm glad to see your ass exit out the game. If you don't remember the name. Mr. Just Right One brought about that change. I'm going to do what I always do at this time, and that is going to be remind anybody out there, if you have ever felt like you are not a somebody, I want you to know you are a somebody in somebody's eyes, and that somebody is me. I absolutely love each and every one of you. Stay focused, stay blessed, stay healthy. Mr. Just Right One is checking in and checking out at the same damn time. I'm out. Diggy, you want to tell anything before you go?
Thanks for having me, sir.
Now get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's do this.